I'm Voice. Welcome to my humble spaceship. Today we're going to be taking a look at the NUX Dual Loop Stereo, which is the newest multi-track looper from NUX. This is going to be competing with, the Boss RC500, Sheeran Looper, EHX 720. It's supposed to have a lot of cool features. It's got a nice LCD screen. It's got a couple different modes, A/B split, A/B sync, and then it's got its own little mode where you can go without the drums. But we're going to be taking a look at everything this thing has to offer. So let's do a nice little deep dive.
All right, let's look at some of the different modes and functions and buttons here. So there are three basic modes. There's A/B split, A/B sync, and gig mode. So if you press this, you can see A/B split, A/B sync, and gig mode is the last one. You use this to select them. And then you have your master, that controls the master volume, mic level, we'll get into that later. Drum 1, drum 2, track 1, and track 2. This controls which memory it is, so you can store up to 99 banks. I can't even tell you how many minutes, but I haven't gotten to the end of one yet as far as loop time is concerned. You got your tap tempo button, your drum style button. This also turns on and off the drums, and your save and delete button here. Down here, these buttons actually serve different functions depending on what mode you're in. If you're in the A/B sync, which is the first mode here, this is going to be record, play, and overdub. So each one of these is going to control each individual track as far as A/B split mode. A/B sync, which is that second one here. What these are going to do is this is going to select between the two tracks, so 1 and 2, and then this is going to play the track. In order to pause the track, you have to double click, which is pretty stupid. I'll get into that one in another one. And then the third mode is gig mode. So as far as that's concerned, what you can do is it's your typical looping mode. You just have two tracks that you can save to instead of one. So those are your different modes, and those are the different buttons that you can press. All right. So let's get into some of the functionality of A/B split mode. So everything functions as you would imagine. Your buttons are typical looper buttons. So this is going to be record, an overdub, and play. So the way that's going to look is, let's say you want to play a track. I already have something pre-recorded here, but let's play that, right? So it's going to play that. You can arm the next track by playing or pressing that button, and then this stops both tracks. The other thing you can do is this starts the drums. You can also do that with this foot switch, and later on I'll go over some of the things that foot switch can do. If you want to overdub, press that, it'll dub over. Press that to stop the dub. If you want to undo an overdub, you hold this and it will undo it. So typical functionality. This works great in my opinion. All right, guys, we gotta talk about A/B sync mode. So I really don't know what they were thinking with the control layout here. This selects the tracks between track 1 and 2. This plays, so if I want to play track 1, I would press this to play. That also is record and overdub. So if I want to overdub, I press this again to dub on this. And again to stop. So if I want to play track 2, rather than press this to play track 2, it moves over to track 2, where I then can play it. So now both are playing at the same time, which is fine. That's how it's supposed to work. If I want to stop this track, I then have to double press to do that. And then in order to dub over and then clear, you can't clear like that anymore. So you can't clear any overdubs on top of it. I mean, my mind is boggled. I don't know how they settled on this. I have some suggestions if they want to reach out as far as to improve the functionality based on the hardware they have, but software-wise, it's an absolute nightmare of a mode. All right, for gig mode, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time here because this is just your typical 2-track looper. Press this to record. It records that track. Press that to stop. Plays. And then same as the other one, it will instantly start recording on that side. Boom. And then you just switch between the tracks. It'll arm and go to the other one, so on and so forth. So that's pretty straightforward, and for me, it's the most functional of the 3 modes here, and I think it works great. You know, if you want just a dual track looper, you're not going to be adding any drums to it, and you just want 2 tracks, this is great, you know. All right, to give you guys a good idea of the drum function. So each drum is going to have its own individual volume, and then you access it by going to the drum style. So by holding down drum style, it goes in there. This also turns drums on and off by pressing it quickly. So once you're inside the drum parameter, you can choose by using the parameter button, the strength, which stays within the variation, but is either quieter or louder and adds more or less drums. And then the variation in and of itself. You can change between which drum it's on by using the memory button over here. And then you got 4434. You can change your BPMs here. And then your drum kit. So you can switch between all kinds of different stuff. I think you've got about 30 different kits, 29, and then 16 different types of drum for each one. I would say they're pretty usable. The only issue being that, you know, the electric drummer here is hitting the hi-hat like it owes it money. But, I mean, it is what it is, you know. As far as a practice tool, I think it's, you know, pretty effective. I like it. You can definitely hear the hi-hat. Let me switch some more. Go through a couple more. So yeah, those are just a couple of the drum sounds, you know, like I said, and then you can use this to start and stop it. But yeah, pretty cool. You can also control the stop and start drum from the separate controller foot switch that was given as well. So there's that. All right, so this is what we got for inputs and outputs. We got a mic input 1. So that's both XLR and regular. We got phantom power instrument. We got mono output and stereo output. So you can actually put the drums and the loop into 2 separate speakers using that. You have aux in, so you can play, you know, whatever you want through that. You got headphones out, MIDI out, and MIDI in. And then the EXP is for an expression pedal. It does come with one, and we'll get into that in a second. All right, so let's get into some of the functionality of this foot switch. It's one of the cooler things, I think, with this thing. So how you get there is you go into the parameters, you click that, you go right to expression foot switch, and then it's going to give you options for what to do with both of these buttons. Now, there is some bugs with this foot switch that I'll show you in a second, but you want to make sure that you have it in B and A, because that gives you the option to use both foot switches. I don't know why they have one where you just do A, but you do. If you put it in here, it only gives you one option. It's pretty silly. But either way, what I really like about this is it offers you the option, so you can either put stop clear, drum on off, tap for tap tempo, octave on and off, boost on and off, reverb on and off, and then remote foot switch 1 and 2, which is these 2. But what I like most about it is it allows you to change the group, which I'll show you right now. So I'm going to have number 1 be group 1, and then we're going to have number 2 be group down. So what this allows me to do is if I come back out here, right, let's go to something where I have a couple tracks, right? So like, let's just play 11 just for giggles, right? and then I want to move over to the next track, I press this, it's going to arm the next track. So what that allows me to do is it really gives me the ability to have multiple tracks beyond the 2 tracks, right? So like I'm playing this, and then I want to go back to the other one. As soon as it's done with this, it's going to go right to the next one. So pretty useful. Yeah. All right, so another freaking stupid bug with this thing, right? So go over here to the expression pedal. Click on that. You can see it has 2 different options, as it should. So I don't have this connected into the back where the expression is. So when I do connect it, it says a single foot switch is connected, and now I only have the option of using 1 foot switch. It's in the BNA. I really just don't understand what's going on here. When I remove this, it goes back to both. And it does this sometimes and doesn't others. So, I mean, this is ridiculous for a $250 looper. Something like this should function properly. Between that, not being able to, clear a loop while it's playing, it not, reliably switching tracks. There's just a lot, not to like about this thing and its, software and functionality, but it is what it is. And as I was showing you 2 seconds ago, this wasn't here. I unplugged and plugged the expression back in, and now it's an option. Come on now. All right. And now to the biggest issue, and what I believe to be, criminal as far as, this being a thing on this looper. So let's play this. If you want to clear something, right? So like, let's say I want to record on this one. It's going to record. I don't have my guitar plugged in or anything like that, but it's going to record the next one, right? And there it is. It's recorded. Let's say I don't like that, right? I like the other one and I want to keep it, but this one I don't. There's no way to clear this while it's still playing. Even if you move over to that one, it doesn't. The only way to clear something is when all the tracks are stopped. And for me, that's just, it's silly, And granted, you can undo, like if I overdub, right? It'll undo the overdub, but it will not do that with the actual full singular track. So for me, that makes the functionality of this like pretty much useless. I don't know. I don't know how they made that choice.
Alrighty, Earthlings. So what do I think? This is a tough one for me. I mean, I think that for the bedroom player, I think that they'll probably be pretty pleased with it. I think it's great that you have so many options for different, types of drums. You can do reggae, rock, blues, all kinds of stuff. I think that, that's super valuable to a beginner who might not necessarily have the opportunity to go out and, jam with a drummer. So I think that's great. I think the hi-hats are little too much, but it's a little thing. I don't think I'd be able to use it live for that reason. It is cool that you're able to use different drums for different tracks too, so it helps people kind of learn to build, build songs. So that's great. As far as using it live, I don't think it's reliable. I think it's got bugs. I think that, the foot switch works when it wants to work. As far as, switching tracks, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Doesn't seem to be any sort of, reasoning behind it, which sucks because you can't fix it. Not being able to clear while you're playing without stopping a track is, I mean, that for me is unforgivable. I can't get over that, It makes it pretty much useless for me. I think that I think for 250 bucks, your money would probably be better spent elsewhere. I would be looking at like a Boss RC500, Pigtronics Infinity, EHX 720, all those things. Any one of those I feel like would be a better option for that kind of money. That's just my personal opinion. If NUX wants to reach out, I think that I have some good suggestions for how to better utilize the buttons and hardware that they do have in a way that'll be, um, you know, more user friendly and intuitive. So if you guys want to reach out to me, my email is in the description below. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment. And if you have any questions, leave them in the bottom and I'll get to them. Thank you so much.